I'm just here to kind of open their eyes to
What the fuck?
different ideas.
What the is she talking about?
I speak up. I always speak up for what matters to me. I'm not here to tell people what to think. I just open their eyes to different ideas, but I don't speak up on anything. I actually just speak through my characters. What the is she saying?
It's so evasive and just full of these convoluted, like you said, it's like a nothing burger. It's just so many words to say nothing.
Hey, sis.
Hey, Olay.
I am really excited to talk about All's Fair because I stayed up watching it last night doing my homework. And I have a lot of thoughts because I see every YouTube video that has come out that has graced my homepage has been like, the worst show, Kim Kardashian's new show is terrible. Kim Kardashian's new show is awful. And so I went and watched it and I'm like, I kind of like it just a little bit. Not to say it doesn't have a lot of faults. I'll say this. Kim, let me not even start with Kim. Let me not even start with what I don't like. I'll start with what I do like. First of all, beautiful gowns. The outfits to die for. Like, to die for. And every scene, I'm feeling it. There are, despite the fact that there are several people who cannot act worth a lick, and we will discuss, there are several people who can act and are acting their ass off, okay? Sarah Paulson has never had a role she didn't eat up. Yes. She never had a role she didn't eat the fuck up. She's never had one, okay? My bitch needs all the awards. Also, she's like the antagonist in this, and I love it because she's funny. She's a great antagonist. But I'm also like, I don't know why y'all didn't want to work with my bitch in the first place. Like, y'all made her, like, I didn't really, why did they leave her out in the first? I was like, y'all, by their own acknowledgement, she's the best. She's a gal just like them. She worked with them. Like, what's the problem? Is she not fabulous? Like, why are they...
They're trying to frame it that she's a bitter woman. I think that's the thing. That she's angry, that she hasn't harnessed the anger in the right way. That's how it's been framed.
They can go to hell.
At least that's what I was picking up.
They can go to hell, and it doesn't even make sense. Because like, y'all do the same job, y'all live the same life. She's like, y'all live the same life, and her rage is like specific. She thinks you bitches is trifling. Like,
maybe it's because she ate their lunch as well, because that's what they brought up at the start. She ate their lunch from the fridge. She had like her Ross Geller moment, and they were like, "Nah, we're not taking you with us."
I fuck with her so heavy, and also, so I fuck with her. She can act. She Sarah Paulson is amazing. Glenn Close is obviously Glenn Close. Niecy Nash can act too, especially in the final episodes where they give her trauma. She really starts acting her ass off. And
also, why was the only black character in the main cast the only one that got traumatized the most?
I know. I thought about that. And then I was like, Alimi, is that fair, or is it fair, or are you nitpicking a little bit? Because I was like, I thought about this exact thing last night, and then I thought, if I put a black character in any one of the other girls' positions who can act, I would think they have trauma too. Like, I could so easily be like, why does the black woman husband leave her and go get somebody pregnant? Had they been black, I'd be like, right? And then if it was like, I'm like, why the black woman husband dying, old, she's sad, blah, blah, blah. I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? They gave Niecy ultimately, I was like, they gave her 3, like, great black sons whose shit is all together. They gave her the unconventional, like, chosen. I was like, they gave her a lot of other good stuff that I was like, I might let y'all rock. Let's see. But I did think about that, Sarand. I did say, and I did like that they didn't, it wasn't, I liked how it was crazy because I was like dancing to the song, like, and to see him, and she meets the guy on the date. First of all, I want to let the record reflect, the second I saw him, I was like, that's the guy from She's Gotta Have It, and he wasn't shit there, so I have a feeling he not shit now. And so, and then I'm literally like, this is me in the bed, and then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, did he root for her? But I love how they did it, that they didn't make us watch it. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't really put you through the trauma, like, of it, like, in its entirety. I thought that was a really tactful way to do it. And so I think that's why I gave them points. Like, had it been straight trauma porn, I'd have been like, why y'all had the black woman going through this? Like, in how in the second season of House of the Dragon, how we got to see them women do the most gruesome childbirth scenes. Like, I was like, they didn't put me through that. You haven't watched House of the Dragon?
I haven't even watched Game of Thrones. I know. I'm sorry. But
how and why? You must have made, like, this must be a position, because you must have made a decision not to watch it.
Well, people that we were flatting with, they started watching it, but then there's a lot of gore in it. I can't really handle a lot of body horror, and it's just, yeah.
Okay.
I was watching Adventure Time instead.
I support that. Forget Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon, though.
Okay.
That is Aaron's
Good
favorite
taste.
show. I love House of the Dragon, and you should watch it.
Okay.
So, but all's fair. And what do I like? I think it's feel good. I think what they did really well was, you remember in the early episodes of Scandal when you would actually care about the clients Olivia was taking on? I feel like I am interested in the stories of the clients that they're representing. Like, it's obviously a very show that's very like on the nose. We want to be women's empowerment, all women, blah, blah, blah. And we're exposing, like, highlighting women's issues. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, I'm fine with that. You did it cute. I'm feeling the general reporties, like women's relationships. I'm pretty confident an investigator could not be a named partner managing a legal firm. I'm pretty confident. I didn't go and double check, but I feel confident, but I'm going to let it rock because I want to see Niecy Nash rich. But I'm like, the things that it loses in is okay. And I am not saying this from a place of hating on Kim. Like, I did not go into it at all. Like, all the people, like, I hate Kim Kardashian, and so I'm going to prove she shouldn't have just rolling, yada, yada, yada. My girl is like, she doesn't emote. And the problem is, and it's not, like, unpleasant to watch her. To me, she doesn't ruin it, but you could tell from that she's meant to give more to it. Like, they talk about her, like, she's supposed to be the main, like, it's an ensemble cast, and so it's not, like, she's the main, but she is. They give her a little bit more energy,
And if she's the center in all of the images.
Yes, and Niecy Nash and them are talking as though she's like her husband in the show. Spoilers for people. Spoilers. Her husband cheats on her, and you could tell based on the dialogue of the other women that she's supposed to be really angry over this, and you're supposed to be seeing that she's angry and blah blah blah. But we never see that. Like, oh my Lord, my sister. But we never see this anger.
You meant to
out
see
of
like
her.
this seething rage behind the scenes, and they had to actually insert that scene where she was saying, "I want to fucking kill him," you know. And I was just like, you had to insert a scene
because
so
we
could see that she was actually angry, because none of us could tell.
It did not feel that way at all. I really appreciated, and I hate to say this about my girl, my good sis Tiana Taylor, my gorgeous Black queen.
Stunning.
Let me start by,
I loved her outfits too.
Beautiful gowns. Tiana cannot act to save her fucking life. And this is not the first time I thought this. I've thought this every single time Tiana Taylor has gotten a role. But specifically when I was in theaters watching Book of Clarence, I was like, my bitch really can't act, you know. But here, let me tell you how I knew Tiana Taylor was a horrible actress, because Kim Kardashian cannot act. She's not, my girl is not emoting at all. Like, and I'm not saying, you know, try your best, sis, love it for you. Like, you might get better. I might like the character. I don't hate the character though. Like, she isn't like bothering me. She just feels, I've seen bad actors before, people who aren't doing much. But Tiana,
did you feel like she was taking you through an Architectural Digest the whole time? Because that's how I felt the whole time we were with Kim. I'm just like, and here's this other Birkin bag to match my outfit. Like, every time was placed too perfect.
Them outfits were giving. Like, I was like,
I felt like I was on a shopping channel as well at the same time. It's like, you can buy this and this. Actually, nobody can. I'm just gonna flex on you.
And you know what? I didn't even, because I don't even like for 1 second, when I see people living big rich, I don't even for 1 second think about these as items I could purchase. So all I'm looking at, I'm like, beautiful. Cinnamon, just you look great. Like, you're serving looks, and I'm like, not for nothing, I'll give you points for that on the rubric. Like, look, cinematography, making me feel like you're cool. I like this aesthetic. I was like, you know, I guess as a lawyer, like, this is obvious. I mean, I was a public defender, so like, it's very different. No one has ever pretended, even in media, that being a public defender is glamorous. So when you see this, like, really dramatized, romanticized, but I'm like, you know what? Let people have it. Let me stop being a hater. Like, my first inclination is to be like, this ain't nothing to do with how none be. But I was like, you know what, Alami? How would you know? You have only done broke ass law. Let them be fly and rich, you hater.
If this is how they lawyer, by always going on private jets to places, then sure, fine.
It's just, it is wild. The investigator, like,
and no paperwork ever.
I think, you know what I would give them? Again, they got around it, by the investigator, like Niecy Nash being a name partner and she being just
She's
as rich
the only
as
one
them.
that looks.
She's the only one that's not a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, she's the only one, like, that's not a lawyer. But she couldn't in real life. I'm pretty confident she could not be this. But in the show, she is. So I guess, like, they made it even play. And she's just as rich as everybody else and whatever. She's just there at the table. But that is not how the law works. Your investigator is not there talking, telling you in the case, like, with the client. Like, that's not how that be. But I said, you know what? I hears y'all. And that's another thing too at the beginning. Kim Kardashian's acting is at the beginning when they're supposed to be like leaving this firm miserable. Like, it happens really quick. Like, the exposition of it, explain how they started their firm. Like, nothing on Kim. If you were not paying attention to the other characters and listening to the dialogue, nothing about Kim would let you know that something is happening. She's dissatisfied. She's unhappy. Her and her husband's, like, him telling her he wanted a divorce scene was, Lord. My girl was like, divorce? What are you talking about?
Could feel like she was trying to go for the sort of stunned shock, but it just read as her normal face. Sorry, you were talking about Tiana Taylor, so we can go back to that. Sorry, I changed the topic.
Tiana is so bad that she comes in the scene with Kim Kardashian and starts making Kim seem like she could act a little. And that's how you know how bad it was. I was like...
Yeah, Kim was carrying that.
And you know, Kim was carrying that. I said, oh my God. And then they had the nerve to start making them have more scenes together.
But it's fine, you know, like we said, pretty outfits the whole time. I sort of felt like Kim was made to be the most beautiful in every scene that she was in, like, out of everyone. But that could just be me.
Made to be?
Like, as in, she was the most, like, well-coiffed permanently.
I feel like... First of all, I think all these bitches are fabulous. I think they're channeling like what people used to feel when Scandal was on and Olivia Pope and her coats and everything about Olivia was just so fly. It made you want to be a lawyer and stuff. I think they're channeling that. And I think that's nice. And I think all the ladies are giving that in their own right. I think Kim's character, Allura, I think Kim herself is just Kim already has made in her real life what Kim looks like and Kim is already so much above you know what I mean? Like, you can't. So if you're already trying to make the character supposed to be even flyer, you know what I mean? Like, she can only be and they made it like a part of her character that she's like done work and done this extra stuff. Like, she's really trying to fight aging, you know, blah, blah, blah. Her husband is younger than her. And
I'm sorry, but just that social commentary moment, what was that in the third episode at the start of it? I was like, okay, so they're trying to say something, they're going to get there, but no, instead we just get shown like Kim going through these different treatments and then this IV treatment that Naomi Watts' character was going through. And I'm like, okay. And then it was only Glenn Close, who I think may have had a facelift or at least a lower facelift.
Some stuff she's got as well. It looks fabulous.
Yes, they all look great, but I'm also like, so we're trying to have this feminist empowerment movement and then, oh yeah, but it's fine. Like, do whatever you want that makes you feel good. And I'm like, okay, so you weren't talking about any of the pressures or anything, really. That was frustrating me a bit.
You know, maybe as I get older, I like the hater in me like leaves, like, and I'd be like, oh y'all, I can like, I think generally how it felt was like a table full of women. I guess how I receive it is that these women they're not going to agree on everything and they're not trying to come to an agreement, but just the different, like how everybody responds, feels these pressures and does different things. And none of them are kind of foolproof. Like, oh, you're doing this. Like Glenn like points out, it's like, okay, where does it stop? Kim is seeing like, oh, these things don't really work. Niecy, you know, I was like, it felt like how a lot of women's conversations go. It was like, we don't get to anywhere. Me and my girlfriend's like, we don't. It's like, you do that, you do this. We all watch and quietly judge. Everybody is like, and then go about your own little like separate storyline and realize maybe my shit's not together either.
Yeah, I guess just because ageism is such a bugbear of mine, and I just get so frustrated at all of the patriarchal beauty standards. I know that I say this as I'm like, oh, like with my clown makeup on, but I'm also just like, can we, like the whole elbow thing? Oh, there's a way to fix your elbows. Don't worry about that.
Right.
I was just... Yeah,
I felt like they were pointing out though that she's like that she is struggling with that ageism, like that feeling of feeling like, oh, I'm not beautiful because I'm old. My husband left me. I felt like they were
like her character is supposed to embody that battle. You know what I mean? That
maybe because she wasn't emoting, I couldn't tell that's what it was.
You know what?
It just felt like an endorsement.
What's happening. But that's exactly the fundamental problem is Kim is not emoting. So you don't really like, you're like, what are you trying to tell me, sis? Like, what do you...
This just feels like a sponsored segment for this other treatment that you went through. Oh, and that other treatment that you went through for your butt as well. Great.
I felt like Glenn came in with her like, yeah, no, you know, like, yeah, I think about it. I feel those pressures, but, you know, you're still going to age. Like, it's still going to happen. And if you start on this path, where will you begin? You were like, where will you end?
I'm gonna, at this point, bring up the Instagram post that Brianne shared that Kim Kardashian made. And it's interesting to me that all of the praise for the show is wrapped up in an insult at every point. And she literally chose to share these.
Yeah. Have you seen this, Olay?
No, I haven't seen it. Let me see.
You haven't seen Kim's response?
So it's just like some beautiful pictures or whatever. And then it's like film updates. Ryan Murphy's All's Fair debuts with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, starring all these people. And
it's gone up to 4% now.
Oh my God, we've recovered.
Which I think is so and here's my thing that always makes me, I'm like, I hate when people turn me into like, when I feel like I gotta defend people I'm not. Yeah, like, because I'm just like, I know when hate is disproportionate. It's like, I'm not to say Kim Kardashian, you have to like Kim Kardashian in life or there aren't legitimate critiques, but it's like pretending this show is a 0%, is a 4%. Like, give me a fucking break. Give me
I mean, the audience score, if we like look at it also, is a 66%.
You see?
Which is like, I feel like more fair to like a mid show. It's like a mid.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, okay.
And it's also like, do you know who the target audience is? It's women and the gays.
Yes.
Really. So there's always an underlying misogyny, which I'm always aware of when it comes to things. That's what
I'm saying. It's like, to me, I feel like everybody has this desire to, anytime anything is made for women or marketed to women, or God forbid it has like women's equality or feminist or cares about that in any kind of explicit way. It's like, let's make a joke of it. You know what I mean? And I'm just like,
look at how much hate chick flicks get. Being called chick flicks.
And I'm just like, it's fine.
I have a specific example based in cartoons and Cartoon Network where this affected shows that I watched when I was a kid.
Powerpuff Girls.
They canceled Teen Titans.
You told me they were cops. You ruined that show for me. Oh, like,
I love Powerpuff Girls. Those are my bitches.
But they canceled Teen Titans, and they also canceled the show on Cartoon Network, Young Justice, because the target audience was young boys, but it was mostly young girls that ended up watching it.
That's why the Powerpuff Girls movie didn't do well.
Even though it was being watched, they were like, "Oh, it's being watched by girls and not boys." So it's not meeting the target audience.
That's why the Powerpuff Girls movie didn't do well, because like all these little boys, you know what I mean? Like it's an action thing or whatever, but these little boys they feel ashamed, like they're not supposed to see. You know what I mean?
You can't go out in public doing that. Like, you have to be real men. Yeah,
it's silliness. Like, to me, I'm like, for all the shit that's on TV, like when you think of the wide array of TV, you know what? Actually, I don't know who raised this issue. Maybe it's you. I watched this and somebody pointed this out to me first about soap operas. At least told me this initial fact about, like, I don't know who it was, which creator, but soap operas they're not counted like in like TV show. A lot of these different like metrics awards, soap operas are completely excluded. And I think that is a certain I think that has to do with a lot of how things that are for women, like things that are for women or more drama or this or whatever, are immediately afforded so much less respect. I'm just like, it has a couple of bad actors, not even like a full staff. And I watch shows with full staffs, whole house can't act. I'm a Tyler Perry TV show watcher, okay? Like BET Plus. So I'm just like, it has a couple of bad actors. It has, like, it does what a lot of shows do. If a show is a lawyer show, doctor show, whatever it is, you get an ensemble cast that you like, and you see them go through the day stories that go with their job, and it's about how you connect with them. And I'm like, they do it, like, say what you want, but these are real things that happen. They're representing rich women who are going through divorces, who are being pressured to being neglected, being cheated on, being, pressured to get surgery or stay young. These are real things, and I find those storylines interesting. I liked a lot of those characters and people who were coming in. I found that interesting. Like, and also,
I'm just like, if I like TV, I like making fun of things or what I'm yada. I'm like, Kim not emoting gives me a whole nother extra joke. Like, oh, now I get to see, but I got to say, sis, do you see this?
I think it's also because when shows are marketed towards a particular type of woman, like you think of soap operas, and there's a lot of classism in there as well, because it's like women who don't work are assumed to be the ones that are watching soap operas or whatever. And it's just seen as trash TV. It's like, oh, there's the classism and the misogyny just layered there.
Yes.
And I feel like that's a big part of the problem.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely valid. No, I was watching it and I found at this point, I guess in my life, I'm like, if I watch something and it doesn't feel like a chore, like, does it feel entertaining and it's not like upsetting my spirit? Yeah, I feel like there's enough that it didn't feel like, I was like, okay, let me watch it so we could talk about this. And I was like, all right, I kind of like it. When I was done with the 4th episode, I was like, oh, who did kill your boy? Like, I want to know who did it. Was it the son? Like, you know what I mean?
I think so.
But I'm like,
I'm sorry, but the way that they were looking at each other, like,
I was like, so like, and you know what? Listen, I was gonna say, like, I was like, hey, the hater in me almost crept up again. I'd be like, so they go from like Ivy League bound to you know, skilled murderers who made it look like a suicide overnight. But you know what? Perhaps they did. I watched How to Get Away with Murder. I've watched sillier premises
I
before.
love that show.
You see?
Oh my God.
And there lies a very silly ass premise. These law students like running about murdering their professor's husband and then like blaming
Everybody
her.
was talking about that show. Everybody loved it.
Yes, loved it.
But like the writing on this had that ChatGPT edge, and like some of those insults, because I love them. I don't know if you ever watched Popular.
No,
in 1999 to 2000, you need to listen to that theme song because I know that you're going to love it.
It's a show?
Yeah, it's a TV show. It's a Ryan Murphy TV show. And so I was
Ryan Murphy making TV shows, you said, since when?
1999. Popular.
God damn, how old is he?
Like,
I thought he was like, I don't know why I thought he was a new phenomenon. So obviously, I played myself. Okay, I'm looking. Oh, 1999, 2001. I'm probably... Oh, I know her. Oh, wow. He's been working for forever.
Yeah.
So I'm going to check this out.
These girls are bitches. They are horrible people to each other. The whole thing is backstabbing. It's cruelty on full display. And they have the best comebacks. Cancel my subscription. I'm done with your issues. Is like right in the first episode. And it's so good. And so I was expecting this sort of level of cattiness because I'm like, I could be here for this. And then you hear Sarah Paulson go on these great tirades against these women that she's like so bitter against. And then she goes like, lawn chairs. And I'm like, that's the thing you end on? Really?
I feel like you told me about that one and I listened out for it and I was like, I missed it entirely. All outside of that, I was like, my girl was eating these bitches up. Every time she walked in, she was eating bitches up. I was like, she was eating bitches up to the point where she turned into a men's rights activist and I was still here for it. Like, eat them, bitch. Keep it up.
Yeah.
She is so good. I'm gonna check out that show actually. I did not know about that, but now that seems fascinating. Like
it's really good. It deals with lots of stuff. It even has like a trans episode in the year 2000.
I realized that Ryan Murphy never doesn't mention trans people. He finds a way always. Like there's nothing I've watched with Ryan Murphy. When he made the girl that Kim's Allura is the name of the thing, husband be cheating on her with a trans woman. I said, Ryan, there you go.
Yeah.
Ryan said, I want to find a way. And I thought it was a nice touch that he did that and that at no point did Kim any of the women say anything negative or express anything negative about the fact that he was cheating on with a trans woman. It was about her being a sex
Except for the
worker.
fact that she was a sex worker.
Yeah. That's good old fashioned regular woman's. Yeah. I'm like, that's nice. That's I was like, that's what I expect of these regular bitches. Like, yes, like they weren't transphobic. She was just and the way she did it, she didn't like shame her for being a sex worker. She was like, she's like, he's not being discreet. Because she was like, oh, he's being discreet. Yeah. She was like, well, she's a sex worker, so he's not being that discreet, actually. That's what she said.
But she's an ex-sex worker.
Yeah, and that's when she corrected her. That's what I'm saying. The room kept it progressive. They were like, ex-sex worker, and then they just kept it pushing. I said, that's pretty nice. I was like, that's pretty cute. No, I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was like great, but I thought it was like, I'll tell you this. I had a much harder time watching Desperate Housewives. Desperate Housewives was like killing me. Like killing me. Like I have
to admit, I haven't made it through the whole thing, even though it was on in high school and everybody watched it. I think I only watched up to season 4.
And spare yourself. I promise you, the only reason I even made the big ass Desperate Housewives video I did was because I was like, I just put myself through all of this, and I like cannot believe no one. I looked, I was like, no one said this, and I'm like, nobody is, and I was like, I have to put this somewhere, and then never, but I don't want to say I didn't hate Desperate Housewives, but I didn't love Desperate Housewives. I loved Marcia Cross in it. I thought Brie Vandekamp was, that's my fucking bitch. I love Brie Vandekamp. And I liked Linette sometimes. I like Linette sometimes, and I despised Linette other times. Like Linette and Tom to me, like truly by the end of the show, balanced out. I came to the conclusion, you know what, they are meant for each other. Because there'd be times we'd be like, Linette, leave Tom. He's the fucking worst. And then there'd be times I'd be, Tom, leave Linette. She's horrible. Then they'd go back and forth, and I'd be like, horrible. And by the time it was finished, I was like, they're even. They really are meant to be. Let them have their 5 children apiece.
So maybe it's because I only watched the earlier seasons, but I just think that Tom was such a man-child.
You gotta see.
I couldn't stand him.
Linette, I want you to know, Linette is fucking horrible. By the later seasons, the man is depressed. Linette will not let him go to his therapist. She will not let him take his antidepressants that he's prescribed. Linette has an affair with his employee, Linette does fucked up shit. Linette, let me tell you when I'll tell you when Linette really upset me. Linette goes and she's able to work. She's that's what she really wants. You, every time you're not working, you're sitting at home jealous of Brie, hating on everybody else, being a hating bitch, being the worst. You go back to work, she has her top job, whatever. She encourages Tom to go do what he's passionate about. Tom decides he's going to open up his pizza restaurant because he's excited about that. That's what he really wants to do. Linette, on her own, quits her job so that she can go into Tom's like this is our restaurant now, and she's like running, like domineering through the thing, being fucking horrible. Then
is it because he proved himself to be so useless in the running of their home that she couldn't trust him?
But no, she just wants to. I swear to God, she just wants to be. She didn't want that man to have anything. Eventually, he goes back into the workforce. He's the one taking care of the family. He's in charge. Linette comes to his job, and she's trying to decide how his office should look. Like the woman is, Linette is, you realize by the end, like later on in the show, at first you think, and it is true, Tom, at first you think, okay, Tom neglects his wife. He's making up all these babies, gender roles, yada, yada, yada. At first, it seems like just like that. And like, oh, Linette would be happy if certain things. And then eventually you realize Linette does not respect Tom, but it's not just because of anything Tom does. Linette wants to be in charge. Linette wants to be the only one successful. Brie gets successful. Brie ends up getting a business, getting super successful. Linette is talking shit. Linette is fucking hating. Linette does it to everybody. Linette,
I don't know if Brie's got issues, but I do love Brie.
I love Brie. Brie, listen, I'm a Brie Vandekamp stan, and Brie deserves so much justice for how Linette used to treat her. I have a video in the chamber. I wrote an intro for it. I have a thumbnail for on how Linette is the jealous friend. Like Linette is a perfect example of a person you don't need to keep company with, and her relationship with Brie is a perfect example of that. Okay. Linette is one jealous fucking bitch. But I said it to say, Linette is being horrible. And like, I'm like, Tom should leave her. And then Tom leaves her. And then I'm like, oh no, like Tom Like, what the hell? Like, because how, like, he gets into another relationship, and the girl's like, the woman's all serious about him, and Linette is sick about it. And I'm so sick for Linette, knowing good and well that she deserved that. I was watching the whole season before that. I was like, oh, Linette is horrible. Like, horrible. I was like, I can't even imagine, like, this kind of horrible. Like, you need to see how she is by the time. Also, Linette does unintentionally get his baby mama murdered.
Okay,
yes,
just
you know,
casual.
Bryony, I see. You see, sis, you gotta go watch it so that we can come back for this outrage, Linette.
Okay,
mind you, this was the time Tom was. This is the last, and I swear we're gonna go back to a real topic. This is the last thing I'm gonna tell you about that Housewives. Okay. Linette suspects like Tom is cheating. Linette, I don't remember how she starts to suspect that, but she follows Tom and she realized like, oh, he is going to this woman's house or whatever at night, which we come to find out that Tom had a baby with a woman before he met Linette, that he didn't know about. The woman never told him. I know it's bullshit. Cause I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, they glide over it. Like, it's not a problem. Like, he was just going there trying to figure out how to like have a relationship with his daughter. But I call cap because you go into this lady's house in the dead of night anyway. Like, is that when you see the baby, she giving you wine? And then we find the woman ends up being like a fucking bird that's trying to like break them up for real and wants Tom. So I'm like, you're not going to tell me that now that she knows about Linette, she's trying to get with Tom, but she wasn't the nights when Linette didn't know about it and you were going over there late at night. You know what I'm saying? But they don't explore it in that way. But what happens when Linette finds out about Tom is forced to tell her about the woman and the baby, they eventually like move the woman. She wants Tom, so she moves them like in the same neighborhood as Linette and Tom. Mm-hmm. And the daughter, she's evil, but that's also a whole Desperate Housewives is problematic. The little daughter is evil, and
right.
Another topic for another day. But the lady is trying to have an affair with Tom. So she kissed Tom, which Linette almost like beat the shit out of her. But then she follows Linette to the food store. She's like leaving town. She follows Linette to the food store and this crazy lady gets a gun and like holds up the place because she's upset because her husband was having an affair with some woman that I can't even remember. I can't remember the circumstances. But anyway, she has a fucking grocery store held up with the fucking gun. And then Linette and the woman's like still trying to argue with Linette when they're supposed to be quiet in a hostage situation. And remember, this lady has the gun. She's mad because her husband had an affair. So then when the lady's like, why are y'all talking? Like, shut the fuck up. Linette's like, oh, she tried to sleep with my husband, Linette. And the woman's like, bow. And it's like, oh my God. You're right. And it's like, well, Linette, is that something you like?
It's like, well, you already knew that this woman was on edge, literally, and then you say the exact thing that she was on edge about, of, like what she think was going to happen.
And she was like, I don't like, and that's pretty much how she was. She shot her, and she was like, I don't like homewreckers. We established this, just like got the gun. So she dies.
So it's kind of like a whole she had it coming thing, but she's like, oh, but I didn't do anything wrong,
right? And then she can have like this superiority. Like, and I want to be clear, like Linette, like she did have it coming. She was kind of Desperate Housewives. You see what I'm saying? Like,
okay, I need to get back into the show. I will endure it over summer,
or not. I don't know. Either you should or you shouldn't. But that's what I mean. Is all's fair doesn't put me through all that. I'm not through the episode like trying to love Linette, and then all of a sudden she's saying depression isn't real. Like she's like. When she gives that man oregano.
It's a very 2000s mindset, though, especially towards men.
Listen.
Though, it's like they were reinforcing patriarchy so much in that show.
Linette refusing to give her children their Adderall when the most ADHD have. Yes, she wouldn't give them the fucking Adderall. She's like, oh, it's gotta ruin. She treated it like it was crack that was designed to
she
get
would
them
be a MAGA mum today.
Listen.
Yeah.
Linette she has her qualities, but she has some like awful stuff about Linette. But Brie Vanderkamp is my bitch. I've never liked a Republican woman so much. Like,
it's like,
I love
what's
Brie.
going on here?
Marcia Cross, that's a big one. And she's also so stunning. Oh, and I hate Susan. Hate Gabrielle.
I think a lot of people do.
I fucking despise Susan. Like, I despise.
Apparently, behind the scenes, she wasn't a good person to work with.
You know, I've read though, I've seen those videos and like heard people talking about that, but that feels to me like I'm like, oh, I hate Susan, but the lady who plays her, all the people who say that,
Tony.
the actual people on the like the lady who played Karen McCluskey and the other like lesser important star characters say that she was the only nice one on set. It feels to me like the other ladies, the other Desperate Housewives ladies were jealous of the fact that she was originally more popular. When they first came to the show, it was more so around her because Terry Hatcher was bigger, and it seemed like they were jealous. And the more I investigated, it feels like it was jealousy, and they put out that narrative because Karen, the lady who played Karen McCluskey, said that the other ladies never even spoke to her. The only one who had a relationship with like anybody else in the set was Terry Hatcher, and I believe that because everybody else, like since she still has a relationship with the kids who play her, the other people, whatever have you. So I'm inclined to think hating ass bitches spread that she was horrible. But you know, I support them in their hating ass bitchery. I'm like, I get it. I support you in the thing. Like, start the narrative. But they did. That's what I think happened because I stand Karen McCluskey. Like, love her. When she passes at the end of the show, Karen McCluskey, I swear this has gone on entire too long. This is my last comment. I must like Desperate Housewives. I'm obviously I obviously am full of shit then. I can
You still have a video in you on this.
Right, like obviously. Karen McCluskey, the lady who plays Karen McCluskey, who I love. She like at the end of the series, they like in the show, they have her like get cancer and she passes like in the final episode because she did in real life. Like she got cancer, she passed like just like days after. Oh, I was fucking bawling. I was like, I couldn't even come to. Like, it's like the last thing she did. Oh, my fucking heart, my chest. I'm sad.
I wonder if she asked to have that written in.
She
or
did.
If they did that.
She did. Like.
Okay.
Like
so
they
are they exploiting her for
like
this?
They made it she like made it a part of her like character, you know what I mean? It was a really like it was so touching. Like my fucking my heart. So
what makes me laughing in this episode? What's going on?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you take us away on Sydney Sweeney. I promise I'll talk no more for the rest of this episode.
Hold on.
So I really want to say, did you know that the entire purpose of this interview was so that Sydney could address all of the backlash? That's brought up twice during the interview. So anyone that's saying like, it's just meant to be a GQ thing, aren't you meant to be about clothes? The whole point was to address the backlash. So Sydney knew about this, her team knew about this, and for once she didn't wear pajamas to her interview. That's why she looks more presentable, as we can clearly see here.
I'm gonna let you take the floor, sis, on how you felt toward the interview before I tell you.
You're gonna destroy me. I already know it. I'm dealing with a lawyer.
I think we're on the same page. I'm against this foolishness too. Okay, I'm easygoing about shows, not people doing bullshit.
So wild that it starts off on that part about 13-year-old girl. But I just wanted to give a bit of context because I think that some people have only seen some little snippets of this, particularly just the end parts where she is trying to apply pressure, but in a nice way. The journalist is actually trying to befriend her and make sure that she is like feeling comfortable and wants to open up about stuff, which is great. They talk about how much Sydney Sweeney supports domestic violence, domestic violence advocacy, which is important. And I was like, that's great. And that's why she wanted to do the movie Christie. I watched the documentary on Christie last night on Netflix. That was so good. I was a bit like, why is this movie being made when we've got this amazing documentary? She's got an autobiography. But anyway, and so she's really passionate about that. And she keeps on saying that when she's passionate about something, she wants to make sure that people are aware of it and get the message out there. And so, should we get on to... Okay. Oh, yeah, at 5:12, she says that. Sorry, I like to bring my receipts.
I always speak out about something that is important to me. And for me to speak out, I use art. And I think that through my characters in my movies, it's a way for me to be able to do my part that I can and spread awareness in different ways through my characters. And that's how I've always learned to communicate. And it's really important.
How's such a bullshit
If I look at your IMDb page.
Okay, we can probably pause it now.
About
Olay, what were you going to say?
I said that was such a bullshit answer. And I say that as somebody who, again, I told you I'm in the spirit of giving people as much grace and as being as lenient as possible. And I was as lenient as I could be on Sydney thus far, because in my mind, the American Eagle ad, I'm like, no, this is obviously eugenics, it's obviously racist, it's obviously, if you weren't sure or if you wanted to lie to yourself, it's clear based on who it rallied and what the Republicans and the right literally rose up to tell you about it. So like, it's obvious what the agenda and what it was. And you tied up with the fact that this is a registered fucking Republican, you know what she is, but I was at least like, the focus should be less on Sydney Sweeney and less on, and more on the corporations and the right and all these different people that made this decision and are using her as the face of it. That is the most grace that I could give her and did give her. This right here, when I watched this, I was like, oh, this is such bullshit. Because first of all, I think it's gonna bite her in the butt trying to position it as, oh, I use my art, I use these characters that I play, that's the way that I speak out. In other words, like, don't expect me to say, because it's 2 seconds after saying I speak out about anything that I care about. Well, you have refused to address these allegations, you refuse to address these serious things, whatever. So you're telling me you don't give a fuck. But then you say, oh, I speak out through my characters, and then you want me to focus on this one character that is a real person, by the way. Like, so it's weird. It's like, but you want me to focus on this real person to be like, oh, you care about domestic violence. And it's like, that doesn't have anything to do with the price of tea in China, lady. Like, you're supporting a bunch of fascists and a bunch of people, like, and white supremacy and eugenics and all these different things. I don't give a flying fuck if you care about domestic violence advocacy. Like, that in no way gives you any bly outside of this. So it's just,
but also, why support the party that doesn't do anything to counteract domestic violence? A president that literally said, oh, well, if a husband has a little tiff with a wife, that's counted as like a crime. Exactly. And he said it shouldn't be. And it's like, so if you care about domestic violence, you wouldn't be voting for it to be not a big deal. Oh,
right. So you wouldn't be going out of your way. Like, you would not be going out of your way. This is something like the kind of criticism Caitlin Clark has gotten in the past. You would not be going out of your way to make sure that you maintain this support. Like, in the world, if you looked at the facts, most like lenient, like in the light most favorable to Sydney, the best you could say, and you couldn't even say this because again, the woman is a registered Republican, but the most you could say is she's trying not to alienate the support she gets from them or whatever. And in and of itself, that tells us everything we need to know. The fact that this interview was a bunch of nothing burgers. She goes out of her way to be like, I'm not acknowledging any controversy or anything. She would not address anything substantive about what people think about the ad. And that's like one of them. I think I saw it was a politician or someone or whatever after the fact tweeted something like he paraphrased with the interviewer, or he rewrote what the interview asked her, and what her answer was to basically be like, she refused, how he took it was, she refuses to apologize for how people perceived her idea that white people's genes are superior. And like, that's what happened. She refuses to apologize. She refuses to acknowledge. She wouldn't even fuck apologizing. She wouldn't acknowledge it. Like, and so this is someone sitting in an interview being like, I speak up about what matters to me. So that tells me everything I need to know. Because you're in the middle. The reason why you're developed this controversy, all this infamy, all this fame this year is because you've made yourself like white supremacist Barbie. You're like you're their actor, like MAGA. That's what you've become for them. Their symbol of, and you know that. And you don't want to, she's just like, oh, I put my phone down. I'm trying to beg people. That's, I feel like hip play. Y'all can see.
Up in politics. You have become very swept up in politics. And so I wondered if that has surprised you as you put your ideas and yourself into art, not commentary.
I've always believed that I'm not here to tell people what to think.
Bullshit.
I'm just here to kind of open their eyes to
what the
different ideas.
What the fuck is she talking about? That's why you're not here to tell people what to think. You're here to open them up. Hold on. Let's do the following statements. I speak up. I always speak up for what matters to me. I'm not here to tell people what to think. I just open their eyes to different ideas, but I don't speak up on anything. I actually just speak through my characters. What the fuck is she saying?
It's so evasive and just full of these convoluted. It's like you said, it's like a nothing burger. It's just so many words to say nothing.
Yes. Like, and that's why and also being like acting is taking this one character, this one time she's represented a role of like, okay, you're playing this woman who has this very serious like backstory and matters and all these different things, but that's one she's talking as though she's a person who regularly represents these very nuanced characters fighting for, you know what I mean? Like this bitch, like she's an advocate actress or something. Like I'm like, what are you talking about, lady? You wearing Euphoria and rom-coms outside of this.
Well, she's done Handmaid's Tale as well.
Oh,
right?
I didn't watch that. I
haven't watched it either. It's too close to real life. Like
I might have the book.
With the topics I cover on my videos, that is like too heavy for me, even.
I think I have the book. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I do. Cool.
Wait, is my camera working again now? I just want to check.
Yes.
Because I changed the battery pack.
No, it's working.
Good.
Maybe I'll read this next week when I'm finished.
Oh yeah, if you want to get depressed again. Cool.
Yeah. I'll take it off my shelf. This will be my next read.
Is this a prediction?
Honestly, to me, Sydney, that in and of itself kind of makes, I feel like she's making white women look bad. And I'll tell you why I say that, because white women are already accused of having like a very selfish politic, like of only ever being a marginalized person as it pertains to them. And to me,
hence white feminism.
Right. And so to be being accused of a representative of fascism and MAGA and white and eugenics and white supremacy and keep trying to obfuscate that, well, look how I care about these white ladies. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, Handmaid's Tale, like you play this white woman. So it's like, what does that mean? Other than you recognize the limited, what does that mean other than you recognize the limited amount of issues that you think may affect you, and you still go and vote, support, and ideologically endorse like viewpoints and mentalities that will lead to the exact kinds of things you claim to be speaking about through your characters?
Yeah. It's just such a bullshit answer, but we'll get to more of that,
right?
Because like you said, it's about being morally questionable that she likes about those characters,
right?
And at 6:57, if you want to play that bit.
Never talked about my personal life.
I know. So what I'm going to do is talk about your year as a phenomenon in the culture. Okay. And a big thing that happened to you this year is that you ended your engagement. And I got
after this point, we'll see, she starts to get a bit more hostile. And this is mostly her expression for the rest of the interview. And it's totally fine. So she keeps on confirming after this that she is single and not seeing Scooter Braun. But actually, I also sent you a link which shows that they went for their pep walk literally after this got filmed. So are you single? Are you not? It's very strange. And Scooter Braun, we all know, is not a good person.
Right.
But yeah, marketing herself as being single right now. But sorry, it's just because I was reading the notes that I'd taken. So we should probably get on to 11:28. The purpose of the interview.
We're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So were you surprised by the reaction?
I did a jean ad. I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but it was, I love jeans. All I wear are jeans.
What the fuck?
Literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
Jeans are uncontroversial. Jeans are awesome.
Yeah, I like your jeans.
You look great in your jeans. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean,
because she knows how evasive she's been this whole time.
About the jeans ad, or Truth Social about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
I hate people who address things that they don't want to address. And just don't. I'm a firm believer at this point in time in my life. I believe I don't think she had to address it as far as her hateful, the audience, the people who for her purposes, if she was going to do this, she might as well have just moved on and accepted it as one of those things, like a controversy that's going to happen if this is what she was going to say. Because what is the point of addressing it when you're not addressing it? Just to make the journalist have to do this, the journalist has to do nimble gymnastics trying to skirt around, and then you're doing this. I love jeans. It was just jeans. It's just jeans. I never heard anything about eugenics.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of the point of why she wanted to do this, because like people get off on being antagonistic because they see caring as weakness.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's kind of why she was like, yeah, I'll do this interview, because that's all it is. Like, she can feign this ignorance and just be like, what are you like, because she hasn't outwardly been called a white supremacist to her face, so she can just sit back. And I think there's a meme where she's being compared to Homelander.
Yeah.
And it's the same person, basically, because you're superior in your nonchalance, in the fact that you do not care if you are labeled as a white supremacist, if people are reading into things. And she even goes on to say, like, I look forward to seeing what they say about me. And part of me is thinking that one of the reasons that Christy, the movie, was barely even like advertised at all, because I did a poll on my YouTube channel asking people if they'd even seen adverts for it. Most people only know her for the jeans ad.
Yeah.
Like, they do not know her for anything else. And so it almost feels to me, yeah, it's the same picture, that
and
this
it's so
was
funny because
purposefully
the
done.
journalist is being so nice. I actually feel for her, because I'm sure, I haven't seen it all, but I'm sure the journalist got criticized. Like, it's unfortunate that
she's been called ugly. She's been called, like, the millennial smirk. She's had everything thrown against her.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so unfortunate, because it's like she's in this position where I'm sure her superiors, Cindy's team, I'm sure she's conducting the interview the only way they allowed her to do it. Like, I'm sure it's only been agreed to on the premise that you be as nice, you be as this and da da da. And so she ends up looking like she's this like complicit lollygagging white woman across from her too, and it's unfair, you know, like, because I bet a lot of people give up at a time. Like, in this culture, I feel like when people are upset at a person, they're not even interested, and they don't recognize that this lady has a job to do. I'm sure the second they turn this on and she's being all nice to her and giving her as many, like, you know, queuing things up for herself, for her, they go and, like, the audience turns against her too. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's being used as like a liberals, like soy versus like everyone else. So I think that this was twofold, right? Because when you get to say, oh, the left don't actually support people that are suffering, like Christy is a lesbian who got treated so terribly, she was abused by her husband, and no one's going to see the movie. So you get to show leftists up as being bad people.
Right.
Yeah. Soy and Chad. Yeah. So there's so many misogynistic memes. I've even seen like someone say that she was a man, all sorts of stuff. It's just... Anyway, we'll never escape misogyny, it seems.
No.
But then the other part of me is like, this is how Sydney is going to keep on being relevant in the culture, by having this nonchalance, by having this superiority, by feigning behind this sort of white ignorance that she can put up, because this is something that white women can easily do. Just be like, I didn't directly do something wrong.
But she needs, the gag is this. I think this is the problem with when I personally think people mistake visibility. They mistake visibility and engagement and who's talking about you to do with like fame and support and success. Because at the end of the day, the things that you're in, you need the ladies, and you need an entirely different demographic than the one you're pandering to watch your shit. It's the same way no one's watching Christy now, because the people that are getting behind you, the white supremacists that like you, are not going to watch that movie. And
no, they just want her to get her boobs out again.
That's not who's going to, like, who supported you and uplifted you from euphoria and whatnot. You're not going to be liked going forward. People aren't going to go watch your things. Like, I'm not going to go watch a rom-com with Sydney Sweeney. I'm not going to watch it. Like, I'm not going to go, you know what I mean? I'm just like, this has a shelf life is what I'm saying. Yeah. Is I think she thinks that she's above it now, but this has a shelf life, I think.
So she's also said in interviews how much she wants to have children and stuff. So maybe she's also internalized this, that she does have a shelf life. Maybe. I don't know. That she knows, because she's just turned 28, she said in this interview. She's also a Scorpio like me, which kind of hurts, but whatever. So part of me is wondering if that could be playing into it as well, because we all know that we only have a certain amount of time where we are acceptable as women in the public eye. Actors absolutely suffer from this a lot. So I'm wondering if that's part of the reason that she's taking on so many brand deals and doing all of this stuff and trying to be as relevant in the culture as possible. So then maybe she could go on to have her, like, maybe not lifestyle, but maybe something similar to what Kim K has done to... market all sorts of stuff, maybe have her own brands. Maybe when she becomes a mum, if she becomes a mum, like, I don't mind, like, whatever she chooses, but it's just like, it's limiting her options for the future.
Yeah, I think so. I think so for sure. Let's hear how she finishes answering this.
Yeah.
And conveniently, some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
Aaron, run it back.
I don't think
this is when she specifically, the interviewer is trying to point out that Donald Trump and the Republicans are who are behind you. What do you think about that? Like, without saying it, and so Sydney avoids acknowledging the fact that the fascists in power are championing her.
I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but really in jeans and a t-shirt. Like,
I'm gonna ask anyway. I mean, and a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
Mm-hmm. And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody had my back in public, and conveniently some very powerful people had my back in public. And I wondered if you felt that way.
I don't think that it's not that feeling I didn't have that feeling, but I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I was filming every day. I'm filming Euphoria, so I'm working like 16-hour days, and I don't really bring my phone on set.
I'm booked and busy. I'm not above any of this political nonsense.
And let me name drop that show that y'all love, that the like not it's so funny, because to me it's like she knows what she's doing, down to these fucking cowboy boots that she's fucking virtue signaling to them in. She's in these fucking cowboy boots to them. Like, she is so intentionally trying to position herself like, stay loving me, you have my support, and I'm not gonna say, you know what I mean, while also trying to like, she thinks she's gonna, thinking you're gonna get like liberals in the left and shit by being like, oh, I care about domestic violence only and I'm filming Euphoria. Like, that's gonna wash it away is crazy, but that's what she's trying to do. Let me reference, I'm filming Euphoria. Like, remember Euphoria? Y'all love new season coming. Like, remember that? Yeah. Like, you like me in that, right? Remember? That's what it feels like.
I really see a lot of it.
You've made a really good case for keeping your thoughts and your life separate from that work. But the risk is that, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues and feel like, I don't want to see Christy because of that. Like, do you worry about that?
No.
I don't. Well,
if somebody is closed off because of something they read online,
something they read online, or the ad that they watched in her political affiliation, then
I hope something else can open their eyes to being open to art and being open to learning. And I'm not gonna be affected by that.
So remember what I said about being antagonistic and liking the nonchalance and being on the high ground by not caring? This is all exemplified in this interview because it's a more powerful position to be in, to not care and to have this apathy. And once again, this is how they're trying to frame leftists as letting people down by not going to see this movie.
They can go fuck off. They can never, no, honestly, I'm like, and it's unfortunate. Like, I see the actual lady, like, trying her best to defend this lady, because unfortunately, it must suck to have your
really come out, rallying support for Sydney.
And it's like,
she's defended her.
I'm so sorry. You should have made them pick a better lady to play you in this autobiography. I also don't know why they chose her in the first place. I'm seeing the lady. I'm seeing Sydney Sweeney. It doesn't make sense in period, like, at all. Like,
so because Sydney has a past of like being such a tomboy, and
I heard Sydney say that Sydney can fuck off with all that.
So, yeah.
Like, okay, Sydney. Like, okay, so you say. Like, I hear with you. Like, unfortunately, she honestly, I wish I kind of hate her after watching this. Like, honestly, I wish like I had stayed untapped, because my general desire to look to be,
like I said, I've tried to give her the grace, like, oh, well, but I watched this and I was like, oh, you go to clan meetings. I could see that. Like, you do. It is giving Homelander's, it's giving Homelander's girlfriend. Like
when people were criticizing her and saying that she was sexualizing herself and showing her body off too much and taking on too many deals, I'm like, this feels sexism. Yes, exactly. And so I'm like, we don't need to critique that because you do not care if guys do it. Like, it doesn't matter at all. And once again, women have a shelf life and whatnot. But then the ad and then her coming out as a registered Republican, which she only registered for in time for voting for Trump in Florida. Like, so the timing of that is very concerning. And then she comes out with this interview where she's doubling down on all of it. Like, there's no plausible deniability.
She's a Florida Republican. She's a Florida MAGA Republican. Florida MAGA Republican in the day of our Lord. Now she's as bad as it gets. She's as bad as it fucking gets. And honestly, looking at this interview is so interesting because, like, this interviewer is quite literally, this is the most, I am not allowed to even come right out and say what you're accused of. I'm not even allowed to say what we're referencing. The interviewer is like, softball is not sufficient. This is a marshmallow ass, nothing ass, fluff interview. And Sydney is still looking at her with hate in her eyes. Like, Sydney is still looking at this lady. Like, I'm like,
there's contempt.
I was like, damn, you would have never made it interview with, like, being interviewed by a motherfucker like me. She's like this. Sydney looking at her, I'm like, oh, the way I asked her, so what do you say about people thinking you're a white supremacist after you came up with eugenics? Like, wait a minute. That'd have been the first interview, so let's get right to it. That'd have been the first question. We know why we're here, lady.
Yeah, because once again, her team organized all of this. The whole thing with GQ was about addressing the scandal. And that's why I'm saying they've used this as a point to be able to get, like, the right-wing simps that love her, who have made so many memes praising her, saying, this is media training done right. You don't ever have to pander to the questions that they're asking you. Just stand your ground. And they're saying that this is her being super powerful by, like, not saying that she feels uncomfortable with how people interpreted her art to be white supremacy, instead saying that the art speaks for itself. And it's not just about genes. Pardon?
Did you see Zendaya wouldn't do press with her for Euphoria?
Yeah, so apparently the Daily Mail are the ones that came out with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a grain of salt we need to take with that, because Daily Mail are trash. Like, seriously, they're terrible. Like, even in Virginia Giuffre's book, I think it was them who were the first ones who tracked her down, right? To do an interview with her. And then, like, I have the book here with me because I care so much about this. It's Nobody's Girl. Sorry, there you go.
It. And it's by who?
Virginia Roberts Giuffre.
Okay, let me get it. What's it about?
It's a hard book. It's about her experience being trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein.
Is this a person? Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yes. I was like, huh? Getting it right now.
Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there.
You were telling me that the Daily Mail is not reputable because I appointed.
So they were the first ones who tracked her down for an interview, and then they framed her as being a child prostitute. They framed her as being, like, this terrible person. So that's why I'm like, there's a lot of issues with Daily Mail. Tabloid culture in the UK is disgusting. So
I know. I saw how y'all gave it up on our girl Meghan Markle. Y'all were not fans.
There's a lot of racism there.
Oh, I know. I know. But yeah, Sydney definitely does look like Homelander. I'm not gonna be able to take it easy on her in the future. I'm also not gonna watch anything she does, like, not even like. Let me just be clear, huh?
Did you go to see the movie in the end?
No, that's what I was going to say. I was going to do it yesterday. And then once I saw her thing today, I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go. Because I was going to go just so I've seen it to be able to discuss it. And then I was like, I'm actually not going to support anything you do, lady. And not because I want to be clear. I'm not making, like, one of those statements where it's like, you can't watch anything with Sydney Sweeney in it, or I'm going to think anything. That's not true. I'm not making any moral position like that. I was never a fan of her in the first place at all. So for me, it's like, okay, well, I was never a fan. And now I know like you're a racist idiot and I don't want to see you win. So I just actively will not like support you because I don't want to see you be successful.
I've seen
all
people say that her acting is amazing in this, and it's like, okay, that's fine. But at the same time, like, because this movie has now become politicized by this interview and by her response to the white supremacy allegations. So anyone that's buying a ticket now is almost seen to be making a political statement in support of her.
And you know what? I won't think of it like that because I believe like this lady, it's about an entire, it's not about her. You could be seeing this movie for a million other reasons.
That's what I'm saying. She's got a documentary. I watched it. It's a great documentary. She's in it. Even her abusive ex-husband is in it. She's got an autobiography. There are other ways to support her. Anyway.
I've literally seen all over the internet the moment that it was even announced that she was in this movie, the gay community online was immediately like, don't watch this. Go watch the documentary.
I know.
It's like, they're like already immediately, because people were already like, we know who she is now. We know what she's like. Why would you not cast like a lesbian woman in this role? Why would you not cast somebody that's a part of the community in this role? Like, and this is just like icing on the cake for that whole thing. I think
for me, I think I'm not criticizing on those lenses. I think you can have multiple things and things be good. There could be a documentary that's good. There could be a movie that's really great. I'm not going to say like why I see this, because obviously the woman herself whose story it is supports this. You know what I mean? Wanted this made, is here for this, supports this. So I am not critiquing it on any level like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with going to go watch the thing. I don't think everything is about this one actress and all of that. I just personally was like, I don't know that boxer lady. So it's not like I didn't know her. I don't like Sydney. It's like, well, now that's why for me, but I won't like shit on anybody else or think anything about them or whatever who go see it. Because I think the biggest pieces of shit who would see a statement like, who would watch something like this to support Sydney Sweeney aren't going to do it. That's the guy. I'm like, all these Republicans talking all this shit are not going to go watch Christy. They're not, you know? So I'm like, also.
It's not the movie for them.
And in my mind, I'm I guess I can't even say nothing about when I think of roles played by people who aren't of the community that were flawless. Was like when I was a child, I thought Renee Zellweger was British, because
she did the accent way too well in Bridget Jones. She really did.
She ate it the fuck up. And I remember when I learned later on that like people were mad that she was being cast to play Bridget Jones because she was American, and I was valid. Also, she's perfect for the role, so shut the fuck up. Ate it up. So that's why I'm like, sometimes Bridget was meant for that. I'm sorry, Brits.
Like we're not dealing with a J.K. Rowling situation. Oh, but it's seen as such a big deal in the UK because it's just such a small little country and we don't get as many opportunities. And it's
I will say this. Americans act like that. As somebody who's from an island where you actually are never represented and you never see Bahamians, and when they do even mention the islands, they have an American doing a fake Jamaican accent playing you. Americans and British people and all these like big super like countries where they make and represent the majority of their own media and then complain like about the like, it's like, y'all shut up. Like the majority of people playing Americans are Americans. The majority of people playing British. It's always just a small handful of like, shut up. You want to know what it's like to not be represented properly? They had Cicely Tyson playing the Bahamian in Tyler Perry's movie. Shut up. But yeah, Sydney's canceled.
Yeah. We should probably, in case people haven't seen the full interview, do you want to play like the end part of the clip? Just from 1850, I think. Or maybe, at 1453, she says, 1434. We'll go to that.
10, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about,
when I give a fuck, I'll say something. I don't care.
Yeah.
On the way.
You got back together with Cassie.
She doesn't care. And then this goes on to fluff for ages until it gets like right at the end part of 1850. Like you said, she doesn't care.
So I think that as time goes on, people will see that I'm way more aware of things than people think.
So I
Can
know.
you say a little bit more?
So I know. Trust me. I know what I was saying,
if I
and I'm
say
not.
it, then I like to let the art speak
Like,
for itself.
this
I think
isn't
that's where
someone
it's
who
fun.
she's not even
Okay,
doing like the
but you-
usual. She'd be like I would respect it more if she were like, the wickedness of it is the fact that she won't even be like, oh my God, of course I didn't mean that. That's so crazy that people thought
Yeah.
that, like with Jeans, that she will not even say that. So she knows
No.
what people think. She is not saying they're
Yes.
wrong to think that. Like, the bitch is a white supremacist. It's just that simple to me. Like, she
Yeah.
might as well have on a clown outfit. Like, as far as I'm concerned.
Trying to make the excuse of the fact that she's so booked and busy and working all the time that she doesn't know, she doesn't have any idea. And it's like her agent would know, like the press releases, like people know when stuff is being said about them. And if it doesn't concern you that you're being called a white supremacist, like Olivia Rodrigo, when she had her song used by ICE, she removed
Immediately
her
pulled
song
that.
from Instagram straight
Yep.
away so that no one could use it. Taylor Swift hasn't, by the way, removed her song. So that's just something else. So please don't kill me, Swifties. Why do you think I never tell people exactly where I live?
Oh.
So
Child.
it's like I've said before, we're really not asking for much from celebrities. Like the baseline, the bare minimum that people want is like, do you want people to have human rights? You know,
Right.
that's really where people's baseline is. It's not even saying that you should say that billionaires shouldn't exist or anything else like that. It's like human rights. It's like, I'm quite comfortable if people think I'm a white supremacist. I think it's fun actually seeing what people say about me. I would be mortified. Like I can't believe that someone wouldn't want to clear this up straight away unless it's something that they're like, yeah, and
Just said, fuck
that's
off,
why
I
it's
don't
a
care.
Homelander thing.
She does not give a shit.
No.
She didn't give a rat's ass. So that's I will never be giving her a shred of grace ever again. But I did give it to her previously, so I at least feel good about that. Like,
I'm quite delusional with my hope, which I have for people, but you know, I'm like, please, I believe that you could be better than this, and just yeah.
I think I would have respected it more if she said, listen, I used to be broke and then I got like put on and I'm trying to do all of the different things and I got an opportunity to do the thing with American Eagle. I thought it was gonna be a big deal. They gave me a lot of money, so I really didn't even think too much. I didn't want to push back on the lines. I didn't think about it like that. Blah blah blah. Whatever. Some my girl, but no, it's very clear. I know exactly what you're all saying about it, and I'm with that.
Yeah. I was wondering if there may be something contractually with American Eagle that she couldn't say anything negative about it. But you don't even have to say anything negative about American Eagle themselves. You can say about how people have reacted to it. And it's really upsetting that people have twisted it to be this because I thought it was a really great message or whatever. You know, she can still align with the brand at the same time as saying like the way that people reacted to this.
Right. But it's very clear, like, she is what we think she is. It's just that simple. She is what we think she is.
And it's not going to save her in the end.
Right. So, Sydney Smeeks, oh, I love that mug. That's so cute. Oh, little ghost mug. That is adorable. I love my little sister. I've started collecting mugs because my little sister has quite literally like a little storefront of mugs. That's how much mugs my sister has. She's been mug. If I show it to you, no exaggeration. She showed me like a cart full because she's packing and move right now. My little sister's moving to Texas, and she showed me. So I thought about when I said that, I was like, you know, I was like, is that public information? Did I see it? And I was trying to think about when this episode comes out. Like, I was like, okay, I should be fine. Like, but she has a cart full of fucking just like Christmas mugs, not even just like all her mugs, just like special Christmas mugs. My sister takes it so serious. When she came to come see us last Christmas, she came and brought me a stack full of like special Christmas mugs. There's a snowman, a gingerbread man, a penguin. Like,
that's very cute.
Yeah, I'm about to go and buy me a little ghost mug in your honor. Thank you, sis. This was great.
Yeah, well, you haven't got the Starbucks bear mug yet then, though, hey?
The Starbucks bear. There was a Starbucks bear cup frenzy.
Yeah.
Okay, but we can talk about it.
We don't need to talk about it now, though, because it's okay. I know that this call's gone on for ages.
Stop what you're doing and listen up. You just watched a video on one of my channels, but the Illuminati-verse is huge, and I want to tell you what everything is and how to find it. The Illuminati-verse has 6 channels. On the YouTube homepage of any one of those channels, every single channel in the Illuminati-verse is featured at the bottom of the page, so you can always easily find them. Okay, remember I said that. Don't say I ain't tell you how to find it. Subscribe to my main channel, Illuminati, to find my Illuminati productions, which are my long form video essays and also all of my backlog of content. Subscribe to my second love child, Illuminati Pop, for my weekly video essays analyzing my favorite TV and movie shows and characters. Illuminati Pop also has its own Patreon where you get all of those videos uncensored. Subscribe to my channel, Olay and Friends, for my podcast, Olay and Friends. New episodes of Olay and Friends come out every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to Olay and Chill for new episodes of my podcast, Olay and Chill, every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And also, both Olay and Friends and Olay and Chill are both available on streaming platforms like Spotify. Subscribe to Illuminati Bites if you want my takes but you don't have an hour to spend. Subscribe to Illuminati Politics for my political analysis and my State of the Union type addresses on my show O Squared. And last but not least, subscribe to my Substack Illuminati for my written work.